Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode on Benji's Adventure. Today is going to be the day where we start what might be the biggest task of this world, and that is what is in front of me right here. We are going to be building a giant castle on top of this mountain, overlooking our entire base right here, the main base. And the only project that might be close to this is the Guardian farm that I featured in my survival world that you can see on screen now. So this project is going to take more than just one episode. It's going to take a few episodes to do. But in this episode, I want to try and get the markers out and mark out where I want to build everything here. And so the way I do this, and what I've done already, is I went and I took a screenshot, both from this angle here and from this angle up top. And I took a screenshot to see, and I went into Paint, and I marked out what I think would be a good looking base. And I have some cool ideas for it. I also went on the internet and looked up some inspiration. And so, yeah, we're going to get started today with marking out the entire area here. So coming into our storage here for all our farms, I want to use wool to mark out, and I don't know, this is probably more overkill for wool, but I want to use some wool to mark out everything. And different wool is going to represent different things. So as of right now, I want to use red wool for the outside towers. So towers that are going to be on the outside. So we got red wool for that. And then lime. I want to use lime to do all the walls. So anything that's connecting, not like a main feature, but the walls that kind of surround the base and connect everything else. So I want to use lime for that. Just to stand out. And then light blue is going to be inside towers. So I have a few, so there's going to be, I think, 3 to 4 outside towers, and then I'm not sure how many inside towers. That's why I'm mapping it out. I have a general idea of a couple, but going to use blue for those to map those out. And then orange. Going to use orange for a dome that I have in mind. I don't need that many because it's just one area, but I'm gonna use it for this dome that I'm building. And then purple is gonna be for this Japanese section that I want to add to it, because I have that Japanese build nearby, and I kind of want to incorporate the surrounding builds with the main base. So what I mean by surrounding builds is like such as this building right here. So probably not using, maybe using this color palette for a bit, but kind of using this design, this more deserty, blocky, squared off design in some parts. Using classic like Victorian Tudor style like this. What else do I want to use? Walking through here. Towers similar to this, maybe not quite. But then yeah, adding a Japanese section similar to this here, I think would look really cool. And just to tie in everything we've built together and kind of have it be a bit of a mishmash of different build styles. I don't want to keep it one like castle build style or one whole Japanese build style. I want to try and incorporate a few, and I want to see how well I can do with that. So gonna place them out here. Place them out here, and yeah, gonna start setting up and planning the base a bit. So the first thing I want to do is I want to use the red wool to mark out the outside towers here. And so in my kind of mock-ups, I had a tower that's going to be, I want to be about right here. And I want to leave, how much do I want to leave? 1, 2, yeah, 5 spaces here. And maybe 5 spaces here. 5, and mark out something like this. And so for making my circles, I like to use a website called Plots Modeler. And it's a great website. So on this website, you can see I have an ellipse here. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to do 15 by 15. I'm going to play around with it. But if we go back, you can see you can make spheres, you can make ellipsoids, you can make torus, ellipse, observatory, which is how I made my observatory, wizard, snowman, giant, or like wizard, tower, lighthouse, giant snowman. So a bunch of different options. We're just doing the ellipse because I'm going to make a tower myself. But it's a great app for you if you're trying to build any circles or add any circles to any of your builds. All right, so I made this first circle here, and it's 11 in diameter. I think if we take a look, it looks like a pretty solid size. So yeah, happy with that. Gonna start with that and build one on the other side over here. So gonna continue laying down the foundation and the base work for this area. So I have been towering up to kind of figure out the height, and I think this is a pretty good height for the front of it. It's going to be quite grand. So it's about, I think it's 17 blocks from base to top. 17 blocks, and I want the front to be a little shorter. And then bring in, yeah, and have it taller in the back. So I think this is a good height. It's gives enough height to have a nice front to it, but we'll also leave enough room in the back to have this go quite tall, as I want it to be quite a tall build and quite big. So gonna continue with this and show you the finished product. So as I was building, I realized I want to add another color, and I think I want to do feeling yellow. And I want to use this color for the roofs, or for the, yeah, the roofs or the tops of different buildings. And, yeah, just because I wanted to break it up, because if you can see as we fly in, the red, it's nighttime, but the red is not, like, if it has red tops on it, I feel like it'll just be harder to visualize everything. Whereas the yellow tops would be a bit more clear, a bit more obvious. I also wanted to talk about why I'm doing this method. I have built most of this world purely in survival in this world. I could go into creative, and I might go into creative for a few design ideas and stuff, but I wanted to design this whole base in survival. So that is why I am using wool to mark out everything, and why I'm not in a creative world building this all and then copying it here. Well, that is a great thing to do. I do kind of like the trial and error process of going through it in survival and trying out different things. And yeah, I just find it to be a more enjoyable experience for me, and just the way I prefer to do things. So that is why, if you're wondering why I'm not in a creative world trying this, is because I like doing it in survival. I find it to be a bit more enjoyable and a bit more exciting to do. So I'm gonna add these roofs on. I'm gonna add a bit more and come back. So we have gotten the front facade done here, and I made a couple changes. I made this tower a bit taller and gave it a bit extra height to it, just to give a bit of height difference for the two different towers. This one's a bit shorter. I have the front door here, and then in here is just a small door that you can bring horses or carriages through, because in here I'm gonna have a bit of a courtyard here, so a bit of an empty space here, and then fill up the rest of the area with buildings with the templates for each of the spots. But so far I'm liking where it's at. This is gonna have a roof on it. I don't know how steep of a roof. Maybe I'll do like a domed roof. Not too sure yet. kind of planning it out, playing it out as I go, and thinking about it as I'm building. But yeah, so far, really liking where we're at, and I'm just gonna keep making progress on this. So it's been about an hour, maybe just over an hour, and I've been working away adding the different pillars. I had to resize a few things. Yeah, tried to figure out the size of this, the dome base here, and also the size of these little pillars around here, and how high they go. But as of right now, I am thinking that this looks quite good, especially if we take a look from the back. You can kind of see it all coming together. I still have to do this whole quadrant here, which is going to go even higher. But as of right now, I'm really happy with how it's looking. Yeah, you can see the green kind of marks out where the walls are going to be. So just random walls. So we're going to have like a upper terrace here, it looks like. And then this wall wraps around, and probably add some more stuff in here as we start building and starting to see more things. See how more things work. But, or actually in here, we have the courtyard actually, so that'll be completely empty. So courtyard here, and then maybe do a balcony out here over the courtyard. But yeah, a bunch of possibilities. And the nice thing I found with this is I am able to start imagining and picturing different add-ons to it. So adding little different things to make this building pop. And it allows me to just really focus and think while I'm building. So gonna work on this side. I think I'm gonna time lapse a bit too. Hopefully it turns out well. It might just be me breaking and destroying a bunch of blocks, but gonna throw in a time lapse here. And so enjoy, and we'll be back. All right, let's have a look at this thing. It looks like a fun castle, like a bouncy house or something. But I am actually really liking this, especially from the different angles you get. You can see different things kind of poking through. Yeah, it looked really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So when you're walking up here, you get this nice view. You get the big dome in the back. You got the big castle here. This purple thing is going to be like a Japanese style build like that. Just on top, I think it would look pretty cool as like kind of a random piece up there. As if like a Japanese people came and took this spot after it had already been left by someone else. And they decided to add a bit of Japanese flair to it. But yeah, and then if we go into free cam, you can see we have a couple towers here. Yeah, a couple towers. All the red ones are little outside towers. So this one as well. There is some empty space like right here that I don't know what I'll do. I might just push this back all the way. We'll see when we start building. Some empty space here, which might end up being balconies. Maybe I'll change some heights here, but it's basically a general outline for this. Yeah, this is a courtyard here, so it's not going to be getting filled in. it's just going to be empty here. But I think that'll look kind of nice. Have some separation there, and have some negative space. But yeah, I was very nervous getting into this, and so I am quite happy with how it is turning out. I'm really excited for this too. Kind of like Harry Potter, inspired by Harry Potter, having the little out-hanging thing. Might change the height of it, but again, this is all just templates to get a general feeling for what the build's gonna look like. Yeah, if you have any suggestions, any ideas, please leave them in the comments, because I'm more than happy to hear them out. Yeah, it'd be great. But if you think it looks good, also let me know that. But yeah, so now next steps are to figure out what the color palette is, which I think I have a few. I'm looking at one right now, which I like the color palette of, but I do want to incorporate a lot of deep slate, which I do have a lot of, some blackstone, maybe a bit of skulk as well, so tie in these colors that are around here, some copper, and maybe some other colors as well. So yeah, this is I'm gonna leave the rest for the next episode, I think, as this took a lot of time of thinking and planning, but I'm really happy with how it where we're at. So if you like the video, I'm gonna end it right where we are. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment, and we will see you in the next one. Excited to build on this. So peace.